Okay, so if you've lost your little louver control off there, you can order a new one off AliExpress or eBay or somewhere, you know, just cheap online, so you can get a replacement. Just note, there she is. So to pop this off, to get it back on, you need to clip this onto that louver and then reinstall it. So get yourself something flat and kind of flexible like this knife, or a spudging tool. Sorry, just put the camera here. Okay, now come around this side and zoom in a bit so you can see. Alright, you can get the knife in, in the top there. Just sit back, get that in there, twist and lever down. Oops. There we go, so the top comes off, that's loose. Then same kind of thing on the bottom. Yeah, just let me just get where you can see. Use that sharp edge, get in underneath, lever up. There we go. Just pull. So you can see it's got clips like that on top and the bottom, then just some alignment pieces. So when it goes back in, she goes in that way. Now you've got access to your two vents, and you can see if I stick the knife in here and twist, comes a bit loose. So you just want to work your blade into that little gap, and then you can pry that out. There we go. And zoom out a bit. And she's free. That's it. That's our little louver section. Find your pieces that you're probably going to lose half a dozen times. Reinstall those. So you can see there is a bit of a way. We've got a larger gap on the top and the bottom. I don't think on these ones it actually matters too much. So put that on the front. So that will slide like that. This bit goes on the back. You can see it's got a larger clip and a smaller one. Goes in this way, like this. Just clips. Okay. Onto your. Make sure that top half is clipped on properly. There you go. Oops, sorry. And like that. There she is. Just bring this over to where it's in the center. Line that back up. So if you can, don't know if you can see in there, but you've just got to get this pin to line up with this bar in there. Okay. Make sure, lined up, here we are, it's working, cool. It's probably easiest if you put it all the way over to the right. Put this one all the way over to the right, because then you can slide that side in first. Can't. Sorry. There it is. Sorry for the filming quality. That's it, that's your range of motion there. See? Good as new. Not quite as much motion as the other side, but anyway. It's probably not quite the right size. Anywho, so if you've still got your original bits, you can slide your armrest forward. And then if you stick your fingers down in there, you'll feel there's two little gaps, which you can see here. So you can just push in, give it a little thump, might help. There you go. There you go, pull up, pop that off. You can see down the side where it splits. A little bit of a pull. Nice and evenly. Come off, just do it gently. There we are. Gently as you can. Okay, so you can see, that there's a couple of clips there and they go into the side. If you've lost your original down in there like I did, there it is. Rather than trying to dig it out, you've actually got, and I might have to touch you here for a second for my freehand thing. There are two little screws, where are we, on this air vent. Right, one there, one on the other side. It's just a T15 Torx. So you can stick her in there, undo those. Once those two are loose, you can just pull this whole thing out. It just shoves into the end the same way this does. So this whole thing will just slide out and you can get it loose. So I'll do that now for you if you feel like watching. Yeah, that's a tricky bit. Where are we? Sorry for the filming. Just get it in there by feel. There's one. You can see they're just soft tappers into the plastic. You might want to, if you've got the one with the climate control in the pack, just take this little temperature probe out so that wires aren't in the way of the zoom out a bit here, in the way of your screwdriver. And put the other one in. Take that out. Okay, now this is pulled from the bottom. And out she comes. So you can see it just slides over another piece of plastic down there, and there you go. You can get your bit out. And hopefully it's in here and not further in. Wouldn't bother going much further than that. There's that original piece. And then putting it back together is just the reverse of disassembly. So slide it, just careful it doesn't pull on these wires. Slide that back on there. Sorry, filming so you can see. So that just, get it on there and just push it in. Take your little screws. Try not to drop them because they're pretty hard to fish out of there. And where are we? I'll do this old-fashioned way. So find your hole down there. Just get it started by hand. It's near impossible to film down here. Make sure she's going in straight. Same on the other side. by the way, this is your to do with your ratchet mechanism for your armrest. If you're ever curious how that worked, that's all that. Okay, there's a little socket. I'm going to put you back on that stand. Oh, there's some quality footage there, sorry. Just get that socket in there by feel. Is same on this side. Get it in there. There we go. Okay, that's all out. Now we can put this one back in, put the temperature probe in, so it goes in. Right, back through the hole, line up the two little notches. Just back in there, turn 90 degrees, and then you've got all these little clips to go into these sockets, and there's the ones up the top that we bashed off earlier. They're a bit harder to see, but there's a couple of little metal spring clips in there, and those go into those two holes. So just line all that up. Careful, careful. You want to kind of come down so that you can get this aircon vent back into that hole. So you get the top ones in first. There we go. Oops, if you can get those top ones in. Really, you can just feel them in place. There we go. Push it all back in. Okay. Right, so it does. We've got a vent control again. This one's a little bit loose. To be honest, this is an aftermarket copy. Doesn't seem to have quite the full range of motion, but good enough. Alright. So yeah, that's it. That's 3 days.